Flubaroo is an awesome little tool to work with Google Forms, especially if you're using your forms as an assignment or an assessment in the classroom. It easily grades and corrects your assignments and even sends out the results through the student email. So let's see how Flubaroo works with your Google Forms. As you know, on the bottom of your Google Forms is the link that your recipients will use to fill in their answers. So if we click this link, it should take us to our form. Now, when you're using Flubaroo as a teacher, you want to make sure that the very first entries are the correct answers, because that's going to be your answer key. So we're just going to, instead of first name, we're just going to write answer key, and you can put in your web address if you want it sent to you. We're going to go ahead and answer these questions because, like I said, this is our answer key. And even a rating scale with Flubaroo, you can tell Flubaroo which questions you want to be part of the grading and which questions you do not. All right, there we go. We've got our answer key submitted. To continue, we'll go back to our drive.google.com website, and you'll notice that all our documents that we've created are all listed here. So we'll open up the history of Marshall. And for demonstration's sake, there were additional names and answers put into the spreadsheet so that you could see how it would actually look. Now, to add Flubaroo to grade, we will start with inserting a script. So we go to the Insert menu, we choose Script, we type in the word Flubaroo to search for it, because there's hundreds of different scripts that work with Google. We'll click Install. And if you have trouble with this on your computers at school, please don't be afraid to contact me, because I can help install this for you. Although I'm hoping that we don't need to use an install code, and that because you'll need it every time that you use it with a Google form. You have to go through the same process every time. We're going to go ahead and authorize this. We just close this. Okay, close again. And you'll notice that now suddenly we have an extra menu item here called Flubaroo. And we're going to go up to Flubaroo and we're going to say grade this assignment. And it's running the script a little bit. It's working. It's a little slow here. But normally I don't have that kind of, it usually pops up fairly close. And it's going to ask a few questions in the beginning. Okay? Usually there's about 3 questions it asks you before it starts grading. This first question asks you, what are the questions for? So we know that the first name, last name, email address all identify the student. And then it's asking, so how many points are you going to give to each one of these questions? And you can use a drop-down menu and give them as many points as you feel necessary. If you come across a rating scale, such as this one, you can just say skip grading, because if you don't want that included, and then click on the continue button. The second question that it wants to know is which one of these submissions is actually the answer key. And since we can see here that our first and last name are called answer key, we'll hit select and we'll click the continue button. All right, the grading is complete, so we're going to say we want to see or view grades. Here comes our graded Flubaroo sheet, and you'll notice that now the spreadsheet looks a little bit different than it originally did when you pulled it up in Google Forms. You'll notice up here it gives you a summary. It tells you how many possible points the assignment was worth, what the average points were, how many submissions there were, and that there were 2 low-scoring questions. And you'll notice here are the 2 low-scoring questions. They're marked in this bright orange, such as you see here. They've given you grades for each one of the columns, or told you what the percentage of students were that passed, what areas they've done well in, and what areas they haven't. If we go back up here under the Flubaroo menu, we can ask it to regrade the assignment, obviously, or we can email out the grades. And so if you want your students to see their grades independently or individually, you can email out the grades and it'll tell them what the results were. Another neat feature is that you can view a report, and it will Flubaroo will put together a graph or a histogram that shows you, according to the questions that you asked, which were the areas that students scored well, which were the areas where they probably need a little bit more help. So here's our histogram that shows us how well the students did. And if you want that to be emailed to you, or if you want to keep that as part of your formative assessments, that's a good, it's good feedback and good data. If you have any questions at all about using Flubaroo with your Google Forms, please feel free to ask me and I'd be more than happy to help you with this. Thanks for listening.